Hey you guys, Ashura here, and today I'd like to talk about my thoughts on chapter 852, Germa's failure. And this chapter kind of disappointed me. It is a really good chapter, but it wasn't epic enough for me. That's because this chapter is the first in 2017. There was a break before this chapter and a break after this chapter. I know the break before this chapter was Shonen Jumps, not Oda's, but still, I wanted this chapter to be really epic. But it did not go up to that standard, but nonetheless, this was a really good chapter. So, let me begin the review. This chapter begins with a little bit of surprise from the Big Mom's doctors about Reiju's healing factor, but then it quickly moves on to Sanji entering Reiju's room and him telling Reiju about what actually happened between her and Pudding. And then we are cut to Luffy, where he and Nami jump out of a burning prison library and are saved by Jinbei, and we get a confirmation that they are saved. And from there, we see that Luffy is completely exhausted and he's desperate for food. But in spite of that, he actually goes and tries to save Sanji because he has to keep his vow. From there, we actually move on to Sanji and Reiju's discussion, and Sanji is actually quite surprised that Reiju is completely believing him without a shred of doubt. And Reiju explains the reason is because Sanji has no reason to betray her. And from then Reiju says that look, we deserved all this. This is our retribution. But you don't deserve this. You have a great future ahead of you. Please run away. Don't get caught up between the war of Germa and Big Mom. And she tells Sanji about how her mother Sola sacrificed herself to actually create Sanji. All the four Germa male kids were surgically changed by Judge, and in spite of Sola not wanting this, Judge did this. And in a desperate situation, as a last minute resolve, Sola drank a medicinal drug which completely weakened her. And this drug, though she drank it, was only sufficient to cure Sanji and not the other three children. And that's the reason why Sanji has a lot of emotions and he's the kindest person there is, whereas the other three are emotionless brats. And that is the reason why Sola died. She died because she wanted her son to have emotions. She didn't want her son to be emotionless monsters. And that is why Sanji is like this. And from there she tells her, look, I've replaced your arm bracelets with duds. They won't explode away. Run away from here. And since if we all die, Big Mom won't come after Zeph. You have nothing to worry about. You can freely run away. Please do so, is what she's saying. And with that, the chapter ends. And it's pretty obvious that Sanji won't run away. Even if Sanji does run away, he'll bring back Luffy and Co. and will save his brothers. If not his brother, at least he will save his sisters. I'm pretty sure he will save his brothers. So it's going to be interesting as to how the story is going to progress. And my guess is that since Sanji is such a kind man, the drug is only holding his monster like being giving him emotions. My guess is that during this fight between Big Mom and Germa, Sanji is gonna go nuts. Something will happen to Reiju and he will go berserk. And then we're gonna see a fight between Sanji and Luffy. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to happen. But apart from this chapter was pretty good. It had a lot of emotions to it, a little bit of action with Luffy running around. So a good chapter overall, but not the epic chapter I wanted. So I'm gonna give this chapter a 7.5 out of 10. And with this, my video ends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and if you want to be notified for my future content, please do subscribe, and Please do comments about your thoughts on this theory. And with this, Ashura the Demon slicing off. Bye bye, guys.